Bangladesh, a nation forged in the fires of revolution, has always been a land of political dynamism. In recent times, this dynamism has taken a dramatic turn. August 2024 saw widespread protests engulf the nation, culminating in the ousting of longtime Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Hasina, a towering figure who dominated Bangladeshi politics for over a decade, faced growing discontent over issues of corruption, authoritarianism, and economic inequality. The protests, fueled by a potent mix of student activism and public anger, forced Hasina to step down. In her place, an interim government emerged, headed by none other than Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus. Yunus, known for his pioneering work in microfinance and poverty alleviation, brought instant credibility and international attention to the new administration. His appointment signaled a potential shift in Bangladesh's domestic and foreign policy, raising eyebrows across the region and beyond. The interim government, tasked with steering Bangladesh towards fresh elections, faces a daunting challenge. It must navigate a complex political landscape, address the grievances that fueled the protests, and ensure a smooth transition of power. The world watches with bated breath as the future of this South Asian nation hangs in the balance. One of the most striking developments in the wake of Hasina's departure has been the rapid rapprochement between Bangladesh and Pakistan. This unexpected turn of events has sent shockwaves through the region, particularly in India, which shares a long and often tumultuous history with both countries. To understand the current dynamics between Bangladesh and Pakistan, one must delve into the annals of history. The year 1971 witnessed the birth of Bangladesh, a nation carved out of Pakistan through a bloody war of independence. This war, etched in the collective memory of both nations, left behind a legacy of pain, mistrust, and animosity. Pakistan's brutal crackdown on Bengali nationalists in East Pakistan, present-day Bangladesh, triggered a mass exodus of refugees into neighboring India. The conflict escalated into a full-blown war between India and Pakistan, culminating in the decisive defeat of Pakistani forces and the creation of Bangladesh. The war, marked by widespread atrocities and human rights violations, remains a deeply sensitive issue for both sides. For Bangladesh, the war represents a heroic struggle for self-determination, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Bengali people. The memory of Pakistani oppression serves as a potent reminder of the importance of national sovereignty and the need for vigilance against external threats. Pakistan, on the other hand, grapples with the painful legacy of defeat and the loss of its eastern wing. The war exposed deep-seated ethnic and political divisions within Pakistan, forcing the nation to confront uncomfortable truths about its past. The official narrative in Pakistan often downplays the atrocities committed during the war, focusing instead on the geopolitical factors that led to the breakup of the country. Against this backdrop of historical baggage and deep-seated mistrust, the recent thaw in Bangladesh-Pakistan relations appears even more remarkable. Since the formation of the Yunus-led interim government, the two countries have embarked on a path of reconciliation and engagement, surprising many observers who considered such a rapprochement unlikely. One of the most visible signs of this new era has been the resumption of direct trade between the two countries. After decades of minimal economic interaction, Bangladesh, facing a severe rice shortage, turned to Pakistan for assistance. Pakistan responded by sending a shipment of rice to its South Asian neighbor, a gesture widely seen as a goodwill measure aimed at mending fences. This initial trade deal has paved the way for further economic cooperation, with both sides exploring opportunities in sectors such as textiles, pharmaceuticals, and information technology. Beyond trade, the two countries have also taken steps to enhance military-to-military contacts. A high-level Bangladeshi military delegation visited Pakistan in January 2025, marking the first such visit since the 1971 war. This was followed by Bangladesh's participation in a Pakistan-organized maritime exercise in February 2025. These developments, unthinkable just a few years ago, signal a potential shift in the regional security architecture. The growing bonhomie between Bangladesh and Pakistan has not gone unnoticed in New Delhi, where policymakers are closely watching these developments with a mix of apprehension and suspicion. India, which played a pivotal role in Bangladesh's liberation, has watched the burgeoning Bangladesh-Pakistan relationship with growing unease. For decades, India has enjoyed close ties with Bangladesh, based on shared history, cultural affinities, and a common security outlook. However, the recent political changes in Dhaka and the subsequent rapprochement with Islamabad have introduced an element of uncertainty into this equation. India's concerns stem from a complex interplay of historical, strategic and geopolitical factors. Firstly, India remains wary of Pakistan's intentions in the region. Despite the recent overtures, deep-seated mistrust and animosity persist between the two countries, fueled by unresolved territorial disputes, cross-border terrorism, and competing geopolitical ambitions. India fears that Pakistan may seek to use its newfound influence in Bangladesh to undermine Indian interests or create a security headache for New Delhi in its own backyard. Secondly, the growing proximity between Bangladesh and Pakistan coincides with a period of heightened tensions between India and China. China, Pakistan's all-weather ally, has been steadily expanding its influence in South Asia, challenging India's traditional dominance in the region. India views the Bangladesh-Pakistan rapprochement through the lens of this broader geopolitical rivalry, concerned that it could further embolden China and complicate India's strategic calculus. Adding to India's anxieties are reports of potential intelligence sharing and security cooperation between Bangladesh and Pakistan. These reports, though unconfirmed, have raised alarm bells in New Delhi, which fears that Pakistan may try to revive its alleged links with extremist groups within Bangladesh. India has long accused Pakistan of supporting anti-India insurgent groups operating in its northeast, and any sign of renewed Pakistani involvement in such activities would be a major red flag for New Delhi. The evolving relationship between Bangladesh and Pakistan carries significant implications for regional stability in South Asia. The region, already grappling with a multitude of challenges, including poverty, terrorism and climate change, can ill afford another flashpoint. The rapprochement, while offering potential benefits, also carries the risk of exacerbating existing tensions and creating new fault lines. One of the key concerns is the potential for the Bangladesh-Pakistan rapprochement to reignite historical rivalries and animosities. While both sides have expressed a desire to move on from the past, the wounds of the 1971 war run deep. Any misstep, any perceived provocation, could easily inflame passions and derail the fragile peace that has taken decades to build. Another concern is the impact on the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, or SAARC, a regional grouping that has been largely defunct in recent years due to tensions between India and Pakistan. The renewed engagement between Bangladesh and Pakistan has raised hopes of reviving SAARC, but it has also highlighted the deep divisions that continue to plague the organization. India, wary of providing Pakistan with a platform to air its grievances, remains skeptical of any immediate progress on this front. The evolving dynamics between Bangladesh and Pakistan add another layer of complexity to an already volatile regional security landscape. The potential for miscalculation, unintended escalation, and the involvement of external actors cannot be ruled out. Looming large over this evolving geopolitical chessboard is China, the rising Asian giant, whose growing footprint in South Asia cannot be ignored. China's economic and strategic interests in the region have been steadily expanding, leading to increased engagement with countries like Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. China views South Asia as a crucial link in its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, a massive infrastructure project aimed at connecting Asia, Africa and Europe. Pakistan is a key partner in the Belt and Road Initiative, with the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor serving as a flagship project. India, however, remains deeply suspicious of the Belt and Road Initiative, viewing it as a thinly veiled attempt by China to expand its influence in its neighborhood. The Bangladesh-Pakistan rapprochement comes amidst growing concerns in India about a potential two-front security challenge from China and Pakistan. India fears that China may seek to leverage its close ties with both countries to encircle India strategically, while there is no evidence of direct Chinese involvement in the Bangladesh-Pakistan rapprochement. Beijing is likely to welcome any development that complicates India's strategic calculus. China's growing assertiveness in the region, coupled with its deepening ties with Pakistan, has added a new dimension to the Bangladesh-Pakistan equation. India will be watching closely to see how this triangular dynamic plays out in the coming months and years. At the heart of this diplomatic dance lies Muhammad Yunus, the Nobel laureate thrust into the political limelight as the head of Bangladesh's interim government. Yunus, a globally respected figure known for his work on poverty alleviation, brings a unique perspective and set of priorities to the table. Unlike his predecessor, Sheikh Hasina, whose foreign policy was largely defined by the legacy of the 1971 war and a close relationship with India, Yunus appears open to exploring a more pragmatic and less ideologically driven approach. His decision to engage with Pakistan, a move that would have been unthinkable under Hasina, suggests a willingness to prioritize economic and developmental goals over historical baggage. Yunus's international stature and reputation as a neutral actor have also played a role in facilitating the rapprochement. Pakistan, seeking to shed its image as a pariah state and repair its international standing, sees Yunus as a valuable interlocutor. His involvement lends a degree of legitimacy to the engagement and provides reassurances to those who may have been skeptical of Pakistan's intentions. However, Yunus's ability to steer Bangladesh's foreign policy in a new direction remains constrained by the country's domestic political realities. He heads an interim government with a limited mandate and faces pressure from various political factions, some of whom remain deeply suspicious of Pakistan. The future trajectory of Bangladesh-Pakistan relations will depend in large part on the outcome of the upcoming general elections in Bangladesh, expected by the end of 2025. The elections will determine whether the current rapprochement, initiated under an interim government, enjoys popular support and whether it will be carried forward by a democratically elected government. Several scenarios are possible. One scenario is that a new government, emboldened by a fresh mandate, continues down the path of engagement with Pakistan, deepening economic ties, expanding military-to-military contacts, and potentially even addressing sensitive historical issues. Such a scenario would represent a significant departure from Bangladesh's traditional foreign policy and could reshape the regional security architecture. Another scenario is that the elections usher in a government that adopts a more cautious approach towards Pakistan, wary of moving too quickly or alienating India. This scenario would likely see a continuation of economic engagement, but with greater emphasis on addressing India's security concerns and maintaining a balance in relations with both South Asian neighbours. A third scenario, though less likely, is a return to the status quo ante, with Bangladesh reverting to its pre-rapprochement foreign policy stance. This scenario could unfold if the elections bring to power a party or coalition deeply suspicious of Pakistan and committed to maintaining close ties with India. The recent rapprochement between Bangladesh and Pakistan represents a significant development in South Asian geopolitics. It holds the promise of a new chapter in bilateral relations, one marked by cooperation, understanding, and a shared desire to overcome the bitter legacies of the past. However, the path ahead remains fraught with challenges and uncertainties. The success of this rapprochement will depend on a number of factors, including the political will of both sides to address sensitive historical issues, the ability to build trust and confidence, and the willingness to manage India's legitimate security concerns. The involvement of external actors, particularly China, adds another layer of complexity. China's growing influence in the region and its close ties with Pakistan have the potential to shape the trajectory of the Bangladesh-Pakistan relationship in unforeseen ways. Ultimately, the question of whether this rapprochement marks a new chapter or a false dawn will depend on the choices made by the leaders and people of Bangladesh and Pakistan. The world watches with bated breath as these two South Asian nations, once locked in a deadly embrace, navigate a delicate dance of diplomacy and realpolitik.